Primetime Seniors is brought to you by Home Helpers of the Lowcountry, providing safe and independent in-home care. And filmed on location at Riverside at Belfair. More than a retirement community, it's a lifestyle.
Welcome to Primetime Seniors, living for today, making choices for tomorrow. I'm Debbie Court, coming to you from Riverside at Belfair, along with Debbie Morris, who is the owner of Home Helpers of the Lowcountry, and Laura Williams, the executive director here at Riverside at Belfair. We had a great first October episode. Lots of fun, lots of learning.
All that pretty impressive group, aren't they?
Yes.
Very.
Osher Lifelong Learning Institute.
I want to learn more.
Yeah.
Well, they have lots to teach.
We're going to continue our theme this month of lifelong learning. We've got some great guests on today's show, but first we wanted to take a few moments to talk a little bit to both of you. There's some great things going on in the community and some changes taking place. First of all, with Home Helpers of the Lowcountry, you touted yourself as non-medical in-home care.
And we are not a home health agency, we're a home care agency, but we have been very fortunate to be part of a national group within the Home Helpers organization to pilot some extra services. And they have met our client needs so well that we are now providing nurse care coordination. So for folks that are questioning prescriptions or handling medications, facing surgery, and the family can't get down to offer support, even a listening ear at a doctor's appointment for the details of what's going to happen, one of our nurses can now go do that.
That's
it's
nice.
Been wonderful as a service to our clients. They've just been really utilizing it, and it's been great.
So the need was there, and that's just a great example of a local business just adapting services to meet the needs of the community.
Because I'm not a nurse, and I don't give I wasn't going to go in there and interpret medical advice.
Right, and is it a big job to look at that,
well, I think
fold that into your services as far as finding the right person or people?
It was a big decision. To try to take that on. But I think it's the job itself is so big because we always talk about that we're resources. Mm-hmm. We don't always have all the answers, but we're all three of us more than willing to be the resources. And what we were finding more and more was that our clients had lots of experts, but nobody talking to everybody and nobody helping coordinate all those services. So that's what the nurse care coordinator can do.
It's fascinating what you all offer. I think it's great. For anybody who doesn't know, it's in-home care, whether it just be for a day, a week, or a couple hours a week to full-time in-home care. So even if someone who just had surgery or just had a baby, even for the younger clientele, somebody who's really experiencing something that's
a change
in life where you need some additional assistance in the home, you can offer that. And now offering the medical end of things too really broadens out your services,
it's a big step
rounds
for
out your
us.
services.
But you've got big steps going on too?
We do. I just want to let everybody know October 29th is the Alzheimer's Association Walk for a Cure Memory Walk, is what we used to call it.
Mark your calendars.
Absolutely. And we're now, we're all about education with Belfair Gardens and Riverside at Belfair, and so we feel it's very important that, aging is difficult for anybody, but when you have a loved one who has any type of dementia, it's very difficult, and you need that extra support. Twice a month now, starting this month, we had the the support group that we have for Alzheimer's and dementia, and it's called the Many Faces of Dementia, because we don't just center everything around Alzheimer's. There's so many different forms of dementia, and we want to make sure that somebody has that support that they need if they're dealing with Lewy body dementia, any type of dementia, Parkinson's.
And Laura, their loved one does not have to be a resident at Belfair Gardens for that. They can come just as a member of the community to get that support.
Right. And on the fourth Monday this month, what we're doing is the virtual dementia tour, which is an educational process to simulate as close as we know we can what dementia is like for their loved one.
Oh, that is just so important for people to tap into that resource and experience that. That's great stuff. We also want to do a quick shout out to our friends in Sun City.
I would be remiss if I didn't do this. We have staff in the office, and one of our staff, Vicki, is very involved in the Buford Jasper Active Adult Challenge. So we're going to be talking today a bit about keeping your brain active and also the rest of your body. And it is running from Friday, October 21st through to November 1st.
November 4th?
4th? Wow, you're good. You got it. There you go. November 4th is the closing ceremony. Our staff, Vicki, is putting.
All right.
She's a golf
What's
putter.
the training for putting?
I don't know, but she's there. She's a medalist from last year, she told me this morning. So,
Go, Vicki!
yeah, that's right.
Just all
But
shout
no,
out.
I think it's great. And the activities, I thought they would only be over at Sun City, but they're not.
They're everywhere.
They're all over the community.
And the public can go out and watch
And
and
watch.
support it. I think there's a website, I think it's Beaufort or bjaac.org. We'll put it up on screen. And so you can log on and get all the information and get the list of activities, and I'm sure they've got the locations where you can go out and cheer on your local athletes. I think that's
Get some putting
awesome.
tips. We never know.
Yes, that's right. These are the professionals here. Another cool thing that's coming up, and we'll give you more information in our November episodes, is, and I love this show, Antiques Roadshow. You're doing your version
We
of
are.
That's
Antiques
fun.
Roadshow
Yeah.
in November. So
We're
start
opening-
digging in
right.
your attic and start finding that.
We're
those
going to open it to
valuable
everybody,
things.
yeah. And so we're really excited about it. So
You'll have somebody coming in and giving
will.
the whole.
a professional appraiser will be here,
That's
and you can
wonderful.
clean out your junk from the attic, and it may not be junk, so it may be worth some money.
I love it on that show when people find out that what they thought, was worthless is like hundreds of thousands of
Right.
dollars.
Absolutely.
And you just see them get so emotional about
And they
it.
tear up and it's so neat, and it's just neat to see some of the stuff you think,
Oh, yeah.
how in the Lord's name did that
Does anybody
make
else
it
think that the
make it
ugliest
through?
things are sometimes the biggest finds?
It's
Isn't that usually how it is, though? Because the pretty stuff you have sitting out in your house, the
Yeah.
rest of it's up in the attic.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The mysteries. Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
so
yeah.
so much going on. Again, mark your calendars. Lots of events, lots of things to support in the community, and we've got a great show again with the lifelong learning theme. So we're going to start with Arlene Hull. She'll be with us, and we'll be talking about some Alzheimer's brain booster kind of program that will keep us all active and keep those brain muscles exercised.
Perfect.
Stay with us. We've got more coming up here on Primetime Seniors. Welcome back to Primetime Seniors. Arlene Hull joins us now. She's the Executive Director, and I'm going to look at my notes here, of Alzheimer's Family Services of Greater Beaufort.
Correct. Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about what you all offer.
We offer several services in the Beaufort community. We have an in-home program where we do send aides into a home, pretty much the same as what Debbie does with home helpers. We are there to provide respite and support to the caregiver of a person with Alzheimer's, families with Alzheimer's. We also have a social day program where a caregiver can bring their family member who has Alzheimer's or dementia. It's a 4-hour program, 3 hours and 45 minutes actually. And we serve them a light breakfast snack. We serve them lunch. We do music therapy. We do activities that challenge but don't complicate the Alzheimer's patient. We also have support groups. We have a family-oriented support group, and we also have an all-men support group, which we discovered in our family-oriented support group that husbands and sons would come and then they would drop out, and we wondered why that was happening. So we spoke with them, and we found that they were very uncomfortable in front of other women talking about things they were having to do, being a caregiver for their wife, things that a husband never expects to do.
And it's a very unique situation, and that's actually how I found Arlene and her program, because one of our clients, he was struggling with that, the loss of the relationship he had, and that he had become a primary caregiver, which was a big shift in his role in their marriage. And it was such a unique focus for him to be able to go into an all-male group and to be able to talk very candidly about very difficult issues.
And the key thing with you is your location, because you are north of the Broad then.
We are north of the Broad. Our administrative offices are right on Boundary Street in the United Way building, because we are a United Way agency. And we do our support groups at the Helena House in Port Royal. That's right there on Paris Avenue, an assisted living facility. We also do our Maintain Your Brain program at the Helena House there. And our social day programs are held at the Port Royal United Methodist Church on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Then we do have a Friday program that meets at Summit Place, assisted living.
But you don't have to live in Beaufort or Port Royal to participate. You
Absolutely
could live in
not, no.
Okatee or Bluffton.
Okay.
Right.
If the program is a good match for you, it's a good match.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
And of course, this month we're talking about lifelong learning, and let's kind of tie all that into what you all are offering.
I think the best thing we offer in this aspect is our Maintain Your Brain program, which we affectionately call our Doodle Your Noodle. We all spend so much time taking care of our bodies. We take vitamins, we run, we lift weights, we do Pilates, we do yoga, and we forget about the main central part of our body, our brain. If our brain ceases to function, nothing else matters.
Right.
So originally our Maintain Your Brain program was designed for people who were diagnosed with Alzheimer's, but in a very early stage. It was just a stimulus for them. And then we realized the need and had people coming to us that weren't diagnosed with Alzheimer's. They just wanted to do some activity that would help promote a healthy brain and stimulate their brain. So we kind of redesigned and reformatted our program to be able to facilitate those people as well.
Yeah, yeah. What kind of activities would you be doing? And is it a long class or?
No, it's a 1 hour and a half. It meets the second and fourth Thursday of the month.
I'll take notes for us.
Second and fourth at 10 o'clock until 11:30. And we do just simple brain teasers, simple brain stimulating activities. We had a couple of sessions where we were learning how to do Sudoku puzzles, which proved to be very challenging with some people.
Write that down.
Yeah. Well, we had the answer, so we were able to cheat.
That'll be okay then.
Yeah, and we do simple trivias. We do money exchange games. Anything that makes you have to think. Most of our activities are interactive with each other, but we do some that they sit and they do on their own. We do hidden picture little games. We do word association games. You'll get a word and you have to break it down into however many other words you can do, or name 27 instruments. Just things to make your brain
To keep it.
Are you
kick it into
finding
gear.
that anybody who is attending those classes, are you finding it may be somebody who's actually been diagnosed with some form of dementia in the earlier stages and is hoping to, prolong the progression?
Prolong the progression. Absolutely. We do have several people in the program who are diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's, and then we find that they do progress into our other programs as the disease progresses.
Does it make it easier for them to do that progression?
I think it does.
Good.
It's instead of just jumping into the deep end, they're treading in the shallow water first.
And they're establishing a connection with you and the group. Yeah.
And acceptance. That's one of the big hurdles with a person who has Alzheimer's and any form of dementia in the early stages, and they're aware enough that something's happening, to get their acceptance.
Now, is there a sign-up or registration or?
There is a registration. They can check on our website, or they can call our office.
Okay, we'll have that on the screen.
Yeah, and there is a $5 charge per session for that.
That's nothing.
That's fantastic.
That's great.
Well, to spend 3 hours a month exercising your brain, not a bad deal.
No,
Yeah.
Not a bad
absolutely
idea
not.
at all.
Yeah, far more important than all the hours you spend exercising the rest of your body.
Absolutely, for a couple $100s a month.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the other thing is that just like we've been saying with lifelong learning, learn how to take care of your brain.
Because if you don't use it, you're going to
You
lose
lose
it.
it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So use it, darn it.
I'd like to give each of you one of our Alzheimer's awareness pins.
Oh, that's
Invite you
great.
to wear those, and please help promote awareness of Alzheimer's.
We will
November
do
is
that.
Alzheimer's Awareness Month, so we want everybody to be out there promoting awareness of that, so that people that need the services of any Alzheimer's facility can reach out to us.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Wonderful.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. And make
Thank you
sure
for
you go to
having
their
me.
website to check out the opportunities there. Arlene, thank you again. And stay with us. We'll be back. Barbara Keebler is going to join us, and she is going to tell us that, hey, you don't need a classroom.
The world is your classroom.
That's right. It's not just the limits of a room. You can make it the entire world. So fun discussion coming up next here on Primetime Seniors. Welcome back to Primetime Seniors. Barbara Keebler joins us now. She's a retired attorney, and you are here to tell us about your world travels. Now, I was given the term Elderhostel, and I didn't know what that was. So let's talk about that, and then it's already been given a name change. So,
Okay, Elderhostel was began in 1975, and its purpose was to give older people a chance to go back to school, and they hired the colleges during the summer, and the older people went and stayed in the college dorms, and they took classes.
okay.
Over the years, it became so popular among the older people that they became a worldwide travel agency. A couple years ago, they decided that the word elder had a bad connotation. I don't know why, because we're all old. But anyway, they now call it the Road Scholar.
I like that.
And if you go on the net, you can get it from roadscholar.org, or you can find it if you just put in Elderhostel.
Okay, so either way, you can find some information about it. And it's taken you literally all over the world.
Yes.
Tell us about some of your escapades.
All right. I've been on 9 trips, 5 within the borders of the United States, although I consider going to Alaska kind of far away. But it was a wonderful trip. And 4 international. Took 1 in London, and that was the beginning, and that's kind of a nice story too. And we went to Italy for wine and food tour, wonderful. And we went to China on the tour from Beijing to Xi'an to Guilin to Yangtze, down the Yangtze River to see the dam.
And didn't you go to Greece?
Yes, I went to Greece on a boat. Now, Elderhostel has lately, and this is the thing, Adventures Afloat have a lot of cruises. In general, they're less expensive than a regular cruise, but they're not holiday cruise, because the fundamental thing about Elderhostel Road Scholar is you go to learn. You go to learn, you take classes while you're on the tour. You sit in a classroom. You're given a reading list, which they don't demand that you read, but suggested to read.
Right.
When I went to China, they gave a long reading list, and they suggested some movies made in China. The movie industry is very new in China, like everything. And I became addicted to Chinese movies. I know the Chinese Star, I know them. And it's interesting because they're showing plots that are well-worn plots here. But it's so interesting to see the Chinese interpretation of the Chinese people.
So it's wherever you go, the learning is connected to that destination, whether it be within the U.S. or internationally.
Okay. Always accompanying a tour is a scholar from a local university, if it's in the States, or from someplace in the country. When we went to China, they were actually Chinese teachers, who were as thrilled to see us as we were to see them. And but that's the fundamental thing. It's for purposes to learn.
Where have you been in the United States besides Alaska?
Well, we went to Alaska. We went to Alabama.
Always interesting.
Yes. We went to Auburn University, where we studied digital photography. But I long gave up taking pictures. I don't take them well enough to make them worth my time. Whereas, we just got back from Asheville on a visit to the Biltmore Estate. And the thing about taking these tours is you always get more than you would if you just went there. Like we were able to go at the Biltmore Estate, a butler's tour, which took you into the servants' quarters and so on.
Which isn't necessarily a public tour otherwise.
It's not a public tour.
So it's almost like a VIP situation.
Yes.
You get to learn the behind the scenes things.
Yes,
That's wonderful.
Now, all tours do that to a certain extent. You don't stand in line and that kind of thing. It's just that Elderhostel Road Scholar has made an effort to keep their tours inexpensive. So when we went to China, we kept running into other tours, like talk tours. And I was brave enough to ask a person how much they paid, and they paid $4,000 more than we paid.
More than what you paid?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, we had to pay for our flight over, so that talk might have... But and they went the same places, because you can't go any
Well, see, and
other
that's
place
a
in China.
consideration, too, because you have the option to go internationally, but there's a lot with Road Scholar to stay in the continental United States.
Yes.
But also, the economy's rough. That doesn't mean we don't want to stop traveling. So it's another option, another way to travel.
Is it something you belong to, or you tap into it when you want
to experience it?
Yeah, you hook on the line, or you write them, or you call them. I have their phone number. They're always glad to have more people.
How many are usually on a tour?
I'm sorry. Same question. No, great question. I was going to say the same thing.
Well, about 30.
Okay. Even when you go international?
That's a nice, that's nice.
That's a nice number. And also, there's always, I should say this, 4, 5, 6 single people. And single people have told me it's very comfortable to go by yourself. And in fact, they get together. We took the Lewis and Clark tour, 18 days from St. Louis to Astoria, Washington, Oregon. And there were about 4 people. One was a gentleman from France who knew quite a bit about French history and just wanted to see what Napoleon gave away. So,
a different look at things.
Of course, the unmarried ladies
Loved him.
liked it. Yeah, he was charming, as most French men are, yes.
Well, it's so much to learn, and what an interesting perspective that you're able to bring our viewers and open up a whole new world, literally, to people to learn. And it's so important to continue to learn and enrich our lives. You know, it's not just something you check off your list. Once high school and college are done, you gotta keep it going.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's
they
good
don't
fun.
just say there's the Great Wall. You find out a lot about it.
You really learn about it.
You really learn about it. Yes.
Barbara, thank you so much for sharing your experiences. We're going to keep chit-chatting with Barbara. We got to go, though, but we're going to keep learning from Barbara.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us here on this episode of Primetime Seniors. As always, live Primetime, seniors.